Hi, this is Amy Aldridge Sanford, and I'm the author of From Thought to Action, Developing a Social Justice Orientation. And I've been asked today to talk to you a little bit about the book. I believe the title does a great job of encapsulating what the book is all about. It's about moving from thought to action, about becoming an activist. Subtitle, I want to talk about a few of the words in it. Social justice. I see social justice as a goal. It's a goal where we celebrate diversity and difference. We don't belittle it, and we don't ignore it by saying things like I'm colorblind, right? I see that as ignoring difference, and it's not celebrating diversity. So that's the first thing I want people to really think about, is defining social justice as a goal. And then when we think about social justice orientation, that is a journey for people. And I believe this journey requires three parts. It requires reflection, education, and then action. Now, those things can be done at the same time, but I think the first two, the reflection and the education, need a lot of time before you move to action. So reflection requires us to look back on our own journeys, the good and the bad, particularly if you're not a member of a marginalized group that you want to help and work with. You really need to think about your own history with that group and how you've been racist or homophobic or ableist or ageist. You really got to think through those things, and that can take a little bit of time. And this journey will help people who need to do that. The second component is education. Now, the reflection education can certainly happen at the same time, but education requires that you develop empathy for people whose journey is different from your own. And so you want to read about other people's stories. You want to watch documentaries about other people's stories. And you want real relationships with people who are different from you without leaning on them too much to educate you. You can get the education from the books and the documentaries, and then as you build authentic relationships, perhaps have some conversations or even witness things you've read about. And then the last thing in that three parts is the activism. And it is very dangerous to move to activism before you've done the first two items, especially if you're from a privileged group, because you may just not have enough education and knowledge to go into that third thing. An activist really must have some humility, and so it may take a little bit of time to get there. This book guides readers through all three of those steps. So there's chapters on history, there's chapters on vocabulary, on action, on how to decide what causes to go for and how they align with your own personal mission. So my hope is that this book helps every person who reads it to get a little further on their social justice journey. I recognize that everyone will come to the book at a different place in their journey, but my hope is that when they finish the book, they'll be further along on the journey. Thank you for listening, and I hope you do enjoy the book.